Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mazes. Okay, how are we doing today? So, what is going to happen this evening? I just want to speak to us. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. I hope you can hear me. Quickly, hold on. Let me see if you can. Let me check if you can hear me loud and clear. It's been a tragic week for us, especially within the southeast. Hold on, let me see. Okay, okay. Sorry, people. Yes, I can hear myself. Now, people, this evening I just want to have a very brief broadcast that has to do with the life we lost yesterday night. Thank you very much, Mazi Mwaka and Mazi. Thank you very much for. Yes, you said you can hear me loud and clear. So this evening, I want to speak to us regarding what we have had. And many of you have seen the video. Sadly, I couldn't show you the video, but the video is very gruesome. We lost Dr. Chike Akunyelu. Many of you will know him as as the husband to late Professor Dora Akunyelu, the Amazon, the female Yuroko of the great Igbo nation. She was indeed an Amazon. Yesterday, sadly, the husband went to receive an award for the late husband. He lives in Enugu. He came out, and after having gone to that event, on his way back, he was sadly and brutally murdered by men whom no one know of. Having since morning, this happened last night. Since morning, I've been one I've engaged in a lot of calls. It is indeed one of those most painful moments. A man who has given all to the service of humanity and to the greater Akunyelu family. Many of you will recall when the wife was the DG NAPDAC, what she did to save lives to a point. And we knew it. People were selling chalks. People were selling grinded cassava, all them as medications, even as antibiotics. That means you have a wound and you go to the doctors and they prescribe antibiotics. You go to those markets, you buy them. You're taking this and you eventually probably die. All this the family did to a great risk to fight the drug cabals. Again, the whole thing was done with great faith. The wife remained an Amazon. And the man himself, late Dr. Chicken, ran a hospital in Enugu. And if you have seen the video, it's one of those videos you wish there is a way to to unsee or unwatch whatever you've seen. It's one of those rare videos that I wish I didn't see and that would not assault your sensibility Anyway, if I do, that will be breaking YouTube's, community guidelines, and I wouldn't want to do that for you to see. He broke my heart. He broke me. He really broke me. And I keep asking myself, to the great Igbo nation, what is happening? What is happening in our land? What is happening? He breaks one's heart. I pray that whoever and those involved in his death, may they not see good. I pray that they will be paid back adequately in their own coin. As the Bible says, he who kills with machete shall also mate his own match. That was real sad. That was real sad to see a man full of energy just gone down. Part of his eye just blew off. And, in watching that video, two things became so apparent. This man was on the ground, raising his hands up, begging for people to come to his rescue, to come to his aid. People, no attempt. No attempt was made. No attempt was made. You know why it breaks me more? He was dying amongst his own people. Yet no one could help him. All people could do is to get their telephones and video him. He lost his life with a passenger, with the police orderly and the driver. 3 of them killed. Again, I asked, what end? This is not a time to trade blame who could have done it or who did it. I think and I consider this, it is a time for us to think. Ndibo, I say to us, if there is something happening in the great Igbo nation that we may and or we are not aware of. There is something happening in the great Igbo nation that we are not aware of. And I say this to my brothers. Ndị Igbo ibe m, ndị Igbo mụrụ m, Igbo ọma ndị njem ọnụ, Igbo ọma ndị gboo, what is happening to us? Is it not time for us to jua ese? Is it not time for us to bafa? Is it not time for us to jeije? Is it not time for us to wise whisper? Is it not time for us to toililo? Is it not time for us to close ranks and try and save whatever that is left in us and in our land? Ndibo, is it not time that we collectively stop whatever that is behind the destruction of our collective fatherland? Is it not time, Ndibo? My heart is heavy. This man died a very, very painful death. I say to Dr. Chike Akunyelu, and your wife, may your souls rest in peace. May those we lost in Newi, may your souls rest in peace. May those souls who were lost in Nobi rest in peace. Those who were lost in Mbo, rest in peace. Those who were lost in Allah also rest in peace. This senseless killing, irrespective of whoever is involved, please, them, it must stop. Irrespective of whoever is involved, it must stop. Like I said, this broadcast that it will be brief is not here. I am not here to tread blame as to who that could have been or who is behind it. I am here to register my disgusts of what has happened. Now, let me show us. This was the event that this man attended where he saw, or rather where he met his death. This was the event. You know, I've listened to this clip more than so many times, over again. I would want you to listen to what he said at that event. Listen.
And I was used to going to the village every weekend.
I was used to going to the village every weekend. He was just basically saying,
"You should go with me." Because every time got equal amount. And people were taking the money for the flight. Because I said, we had no money for the flight. And when the first class want to be good, this is not how we do it. They will now start investigating us. The phone rang. I said, normally any of us.
You know, this man went to this event to pick up the award for the wife. And on his way back, that's when he was killed. He was murdered. It means Dr. Chike is now late. You know, like I said before, what strikes me, what broke me as a person was the nonchalancy of those who were standing by just recording. And I asked, where has our humanity gone to, people? Maybe it is time to make it a criminal offense like they do in other countries. If someone is in distress and you are not helping, maybe it is a time. I don't know. But it is indeed, very, very horrific that something like this can happen and no one is there, because somewhat believed by the virtue of the wound we saw in those videos, if he was taken to the hospital and emergency administered, maybe he may have lived. Dr. Chike wasn't a politician. For those of you who are commenting that it's a politically motivated event, he was not a politician. He was never a politician. He had no intention of becoming one. He was a man who only gave to community and to charity. Sadly, this is it. This is it. Jeez. This is not us. Something strange has crippled in. Something strange has crippled in. The other day, we saw another video. We saw young people in the state capital playing football with human head. Jeez. The type of things that when we hear them happen elsewhere, we all became so engraved and outraged is happening in our land today. That same yesterday at Mbo, a man was, oof, a man had his head severed from his body, again in Anambra State. Who is behind these barbaric acts? Who is behind these barbaric acts? Ụmụnne m ndị Igbo, ka anyị loo n'ilulo. Ka anyị loo n'ilulo. Ka anyị loo n'ilulo. Ka anyị gbaa n'izu. Ka anụ jee nye ije. Ọ bụrụ na anyị ga-agba afa, ka anyị gbaa n'afa. Ka anyị jee nyoo n'anya na mmiri abagwo n'opi ụgbọgụrụ. Chinua Achebe said it. Things have indeed and sadly fallen apart, and the center can no longer hold. Akunyelu, once more, rest in peace. Honestly, to show respect for him, for all he stands for, I wouldn't do any other broadcast today. I had planned, but I couldn't. His death is one barbaric death too many. Ụmụnne m, ka anyị mụrụ n'anya. I say, thank you very much for being part of this short broadcast. I'll say good night to all of us from here. I am Mazi Ezoken with a heavy heart.